ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند
My name is Abdul Shahid. Some call me Shahid for short. I became Muslim in 1997. I was born here, but my ancestry is English. I am married and have 2 children, Hudayfa and Uthman.
Hudayfa, you wanna wake up?
Like what? I was standing up there.
Should we put another one?
Papa, put on your face.
I am currently teaching the Quran and Islamic studies at an Islamic college in Melbourne.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in the Quran, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Allah said in that verse that I didn't translate just now, He told us the reason why we are fasting, for us to get something. What is that something? Be like the poor people? No. Omar.
Teach you how to fear God.
Good. وَمَا أُرْسِلُوا عَلَيْهِمْ حَافِظِينَ
Before completing a double major in Middle Eastern Studies and Arabic language, my university granted me a scholarship to study at Damascus, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. That was a beautiful experience, for I am someone who loves history. Damascus used to be the capital of a vast Islamic empire that stretched to Spain. The sense of history surrounding this part of the world is captivating, to say the least. I became absorbed and I quickly felt part of it. Back in Australia, something unexpected struck me. While talking with some of my friends about that experience, we wondered about how well we knew about the history of Muslims in Australia. We felt the sense of duty and urge to uncover how deep Muslim history goes in this country. Thus, we went on a journey, and this is our story.
A little bit, but not nothing in depth. So.
Life alone, living it just for me, and I had no idea this life.
Islam is made of 3 main pillars.
Myself, and I wondered who created me. I had to open my heart and open my mind.
Born Mario Anastasis, Greek origin.
Every young adult in Australia faces challenges.
Because we've been in explain yourself mode. We're just trying to follow our religion.
Inside here is still the original floor, wooden floor, which is on the ground. We're basically the first Muslims that came back to Islam, I think 3 generations.
Muslims represent a very powerful market force in the world.
Check out Islam, because we're telling you that this is the best, this is the better, this is the upgraded version.
How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar.
Our first task on this journey was to find out the level of knowledge of Islam and Muslims in Australia. To do this, we went to Dr. Kevin Dunn, who was asked by the Australian-Indonesian Institute to analyse a survey on Australians' public knowledge of Islam.
Well, first of all, only about 1/5 of Australians were able to say that they had claim a reasonable grasp of Islam. About half said they knew a little bit. which isn't encouraging. One of the problems is when you look then at that type of that knowledge is it's quite problematic. It's a little bit of knowledge. There's a saying, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. When asked, what is your understanding then, they would tell us about stereotypes that they've heard about Islam or make some criticism of Islam. 1/3 said they just knew nothing, which is probably a very honest response.
After hearing of these findings, we went to a mosque open day to see firsthand what people's understanding of Islam really is.
I've always been interested, passing this mosque regularly, to come in and find out a bit more about it.
It's the only time I've ever been in a mosque.
Is this the area you worship in?
Well, I'm very interested in finding out about different religions, you know, and just to develop my understanding.
I don't know what to expect. I mean, all I know, you see them as a building, but up to date, you never had the freedom to come into it.
I've been to mosques before.
Yeah, this is my first time. Yeah, so.
Well, I think the whole lot's interesting. I mean, I'm interested in the subject. I've been to church myself this morning. I'm a Christian, and one of the vicar said that, you know, if you want to go and see this place today, you can go and see it. I thought, that's why I'm here.
I know, it's just more an edge of curiosity as well. And there's so much criticism that revolves around Muslim people.
You hear all sorts of things about you blokes. But I mean, as a Christian, I've got an open mind.
And people want to know about, of course, Muslim and Islam, I think. And as I said, we really need to understand each other and have a good understanding, and that's almost the basis for, as I said, respecting the others and for everyone to live in peace and harmony.
An American born in New Jersey and moved to New York at about the age of 2. Strangely enough, I never met a Muslim, and even up to the time where I actually accepted Islam, I had not really met a Muslim or sat down and chatted with a Muslim and been exposed to Islam as a lifestyle. The feeling had entered the heart, and I knew that Islam is what you have to do. That doesn't mean that I was prepared for it or that feeling strong enough that I can implement everything immediately, but I knew at least that it was the truth.
I'm a Catholic, and I've been brought up inside that the Catholic is the right religion to believe in, and I brought up like that, and I believe in that.
I probably came here with absolutely, hardly any understanding, so it was really, really informative. Like, a lot of, I actually didn't know there wasn't that much of a comparison between, like, Christianity and the Muslim religion. I didn't know that there was so many links in between them, because I've been baptized, but I never have really, I've never really pursued trying to find a lot about other religions, and obviously because of my parents, I didn't exactly have give me religious freedom and things like that.
We all understand that society today has a lot of problems, and certainly faith has a big part to play in curing that.
Answers that science can't explain. I mean, science describes things like the Big Bang, and that it was, before that there was nothing. What made the Big Bang? It's all these massive questions, and it comes down to those massive questions like that, and in the end you start questioning, well, why actually do I exist? I mean, it's not just go to school, get a degree, earn money, have a family, and then die. That seems like the motivation a lot of people have.
Today, the number of Muslims in Australia is approaching 500,000. More than a third of them were born here. The rest came here after the Second World War, together with 6 million other migrants who came from 200 countries to make Australia their home. Muslims migrated from the Middle East, Africa, Asia and Europe. From countries such as Lebanon, Turkey, Afghanistan, Bosnia, Pakistan, Indonesia, Iraq, Bangladesh, Fiji, Albania and so on. Although there are significant numbers of Muslims in each state, the majority of them reside in New South Wales and Victoria.